Substitution, and we saw that on the bingo assignment, right? Yeah, there were some problems that were just like super easy substitution. And then it was like, okay, if it's not U substitution, I'm starting to pay attention to like the exponents of like how many signs we have and how many doses we have. There was a power reducing formula, right? Okay. I'm going to have you guys remind me of what it is. So if you end up with a cos squared, pretty sure it's not sine.
No, it's 1/2 cosine to
Is it plus? Look at your notes. Why are you guessing? Look at your notes.
I thought cos was minus.
Okay, and then okay. So on these, the trick is just going to be to think about the straight up U substitution. How many of these signs can I convert back and forth? Do I have to save? All that sort of stuff. Okay. So what we're going to do next is we're going to look at the information if we do trig integrals, but we're doing secant and tangent. So we're continuing on our same. Now we're moving on from cosine and sine, and moving on to secant and tangent. Is reflecting badly off the TV because we can close the window. We don't worry about cosecant and tangent as much because they're not as common. The nice thing about this, I guess, is that these problems are typically not on the AP exam. But we're going to learn them anyway. And you're going to test. Okay? All right. I do need headphones out. Like we're going to have a unit test, all that sort of stuff.
Oh, for finals.
So as long as I get okay from Dr. Davis, my plan is to have, we will go through a whole section where we will be studying for the AP exam. And then what I will do is give you an FRQs, 6 FRQs in an hour and a half, right? Because that's what I'm supposed to get for the FRQs anyway. So that'll be a class period. You'll take 6 FRQs. And then that will be like, I will call that our final because it's cumulative. But I'm not planning on doing the chunk of your grade. As long as I do okay. Well, the thing is if you were to sit down and do the math, most of the tests end up being about 10% of the grade anyway. Like if you actually divvy out how much I offer for test total anyway and how many we have and stuff. So it'll be like a normal test. Yeah. So that is the plan. As long as I'm okay, as long as she's okay with me doing that. I don't like the idea of giving you finals. So that's not. The AP exam is hardcore enough. I don't know about that. Okay, so secant and tangent, rules or suggestions or whatever. So first, we are going to try U substitution. Try U substitution. That's always the go-to because it's the easiest. That's why we learned it. The second is if secant is an exponent, then you're going to save a secant squared for du and convert the rest using a Pythagorean identity. If tan has an odd component, we're going to save a secant x tan x for du and convert the rest. Now, whenever I give little ideas, this is not to say they work 100%. They work 99% of the time, and every so often you might have one that doesn't really seem to fit, and you have to think it through.
If I get one before I'm done.
All right, here are the examples. We're going to do tan to the 6th times secant to the 4th. That's an X, not a D. Yeah.
Well, you can on the video.
Oh, sad day. We'll mark it.
Like 4 times.
I just saved till the very end to put the plus C.
No.
I just never put the plus C.
It's DX.
Oh.
Yeah, you did a lot. It was like 4 strings in a row. Yeah, I'm like, wait, am I supposed to?
All the little piggy blanks are
All right, so we have a secant to the 4th. We have a secant to the 4th. Why is the rule that if secant is an even exponent, then we want to save a secant squared? Yeah, so if everything else is tan, then the tan is going to be the u and the tan is secant squared, so that's why we're saving a secant squared. Okay, so if I think about this one, I have a secant to the 4th, which means I've got a secant squared and another secant squared. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this as tan to the 6th times, and what does secant squared get replaced with if you have your green sheet? That's where all the Pythagorean identities for trig stuff are here. Your cheat sheets. I think it's a green one. Yeah, perfect.
All of my old sheets are in my Bible.
So we're looking for the.
It was at the beginning of the
It
year.
was all the color sheets at the beginning, and secant squared gets replaced with 1 plus tan squared. Okay, so I took one of the secant squared, replaced it, and then I'm leaving the other secant squared behind.
Holy cow, a lot of puppies have died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no kidding.
When you cancel top and bottom and you're not supposed to. Let's go ahead and distribute that tan in there. So what do we have?
Tan to the 6x plus tan to the 8x.
All right, now you might not need to think of it this way, but I'm going to go ahead and write it anyway. So if you need to see it like that, go ahead and rewrite it. If you don't need to see it like that, then don't worry about it. Why did I rewrite it that way?
So,
Yeah, so I could clearly see that there's an inside and an outside. Okay, so what is my u? What's my du? So here is my u, here's my u, here's my du. So what I've got is u to the 6th plus u to the 8th du.
yeah, 1 year. Let's see. Yeah, 10 to the 7.
You guys don't like these? I kind of like these.
This one is much nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah, the signing codes, they get a little tedious because of the Python.
Yeah, this is.
Okay.
Plus the tan to
Yeah.
Like science, they just go around in a circle, so it's really easy to remember. Since I always go the other direction.
Yeah, but more than the non-science cosine, like because it's so simple, it's complicated.
I always forget which way the
Yeah.
circle goes. One. Well, yeah, but like if it goes positive and
Derivative is clockwise.
Is negative sine derivative, cosine, sine goes to negative.
Derivatives go clockwise because we're Americans. Right, so derivatives go that way.
They don't spin backwards, they just spin in the opposite direction. Then that's normal. Because we're going backwards for us.
But to them,
Exactly, that's my point. It's not, well, yeah.
everybody got
Okay, everybody knows that Americans are the right way and everyone else is the wrong
We're in
way.
the backwoods, and there's a lot of back.
So derivative, clockwise, antiderivative, counterclockwise. Counter as in it undoes it. See, that's a good way to remember it. All right, so anyway, this problem, does it make sense to have the tan be the u and have secant squared be the derivative, or does it make sense to have the secant be the u and a tan is the derivative? They're odd. Okay, so we're going to save one secant, and we're going to convert, oh wait, we're going to save one tan. Sorry, we're going to save one tan and one secant to be derivative, and then the rest of the tans are going to be converted into secants. So I'm going to say I've got tan to the 4th and secant to the 7th. Well, I'll call it secant to the 6th. I'm going to go ahead and divide it up. And then I'm saving one tan and one secant for the derivative. Does that make sense how I got that? So I saved one of each for the derivative, and then I'm saying, okay, this is the part that has to turn into u. And this I'm saying for the derivative, that means this all has to be secant. So tan to the 4th is going to change to what if we get the clean sheet? I can print one. Secant squared minus 1, and then a squared on the outside because it was tan to the 4th. This is tan squared squared. Well, all you have to know is the Pythagorean identity, and if you know that, then you can get the rest.
You can read your lives on, but that takes a long time.
Does it take a long time? Like 30 seconds?
It requires a lot of brain.
Okay, so how am I going to fix this?
Distribution.
If you distribute, you kill a kitten. If you foil, you don't kill a kitten. So, would we like to kill a kitten? Yes, okay. So we do need to foil. Now, if you guys want, we can convert it to u now so that when we're foiling, we have u's instead of theta. Yeah. So actually, let me do a better job writing this then. Okay, I'm going to say u equals secant. du is secant theta theta d theta. Is anyone else uncomfortable that this is all in terms of theta?
Yeah.
It makes me feel weird. Yeah. All right. Okay, so I have u squared minus 1 squared, u to the 6th. So the c squared is a u squared, and then minus 1, and then u to the 6th. And then we said that all of this was our du. I showed all my work. Because then I didn't have to.
That was really interesting. Because I was like, where did the fourth term come from? And then I realized you just kind of add them together.
111.
It's not worse than it is. This isn't that bad. It's not that bad. If it was bad, you would have had questions throughout.
No, not doing them bad. I mean, you're doing them bad, but the answer is bad.
That's why I said it was worse. It looks worse than it is. That's not. That's like a challenge, like Miss Rice. Show them what bad can actually do. That's what I'm saying. It's like I think it's bad.
And then not one for the order section.
If you could please not yell. He's speaking at an elevated voice. Please yell.
I think it gets more violent every time. It used to be like one thesis, and now I'm like, should we call it one?
Video. Rude. All right. So those are the things that we're practicing today. If it's sine and cosine, we're going to be very careful. We're going to have this maybe written on our green sheet so that we have it. Yeah, perfect. If we don't have a green sheet, we're going to be like Miss Rice. I'm going to break a piece of chocolate cake. Please have another green sheet. And I will say it only for a piece of chocolate cake. Or carrot cake. I do like the single slices of carrot cake from Harris Teeter. That works too, yeah. Use a photocopy. Should have had better organization. Mic drop. All right. So let me put up the